Hey, it's Myra from Camp Mymy. Today I want to talk about my favorite string lights for camping.
Don't take it, take it, just don't be and live my life. Don't take it personal, I ain't lying.
Right now I'm in my Honda Element camper van, and if you've seen my previous video, you'll know that I use the Goal Zero string lights, and right now I'm using 3 of them. I like these because they have different brightnesses. You can turn each one off or on, bright or brighter. Right now I have them hooked up to my Goal Zero Yeti 400, and you can see that 3 lights are using 3 watts. Here is another Goal Zero light that I have, and if I plug this in, and now I'm using 8 watts. So that actually is not too bad for all these lights. And what I'm trying to do is show different options and how much power that they take. Here is my Goal Zero, and just for lighting purposes, I have my Biolite base lantern next to it. It's not plugged in right now. If you can find this base lantern, they don't make it anymore, but if you can find it, I highly recommend it. I can control it from an app on my phone. The quality is so solid. If you can see it here, you can turn on one side or both sides. It changes color, you can change brightness. Anyway, if you can find that, buy it. But here I have standard Christmas lights. I'm going to plug these in so we can see how much power that they actually take. I'm going to plug these in, and those lights, which give you a lot of light, they also take 8 watts, 7 to 8 watts. You can see it fluctuating back and forth. These are probably LED lights. They do take about the same amount of power as my Goal Zero lights. The reason I don't use this type of light is because they are more breakable. You know, the little light bulbs can fall out, and sometimes if one light bulb goes out, they all go out. So the next string light that I have are the Biolites. These are nice because they store very small. Okay, so I've got these plugged in, and what I'm finding out right now, they do plug into my base camp. They have a different kind of a connector. It's a pin connector. I can plug them into my older style base camp. There doesn't appear to be a pin connector on the Biolite, so they do have an adapter that will change the pin connector to USB. Just have it plugged into here, so I don't have wattage on this. I'll look that up and find out. But it does kind of stop you from easily plugging it into the Biolite Alpine Glow, which is this little one here. You would need the connector. And I've had these for over a year, and I notice now that one of them is not as bright as the other ones. It's part of the reason I'm not using these in my camper van right now. They seem to be a little bit shorter. You cannot control them independently like you can the Goal Zero, but they still are a nice, small, compact string light to carry around. Like if you're in a tent or just need something to give you a little bit of light and you don't need to be able to turn them on and off independently, these would be a good option. You can string them together as well, so you can string a couple sets together. So yeah, so these are not a bad option. And I do like the Alpine Glow as well. It does change colors. It's got all kinds of different settings on it. So I really do like this lamp, but there's no app for it on your phone, so you can't control it with your phone. When I had the Tag Teardrop camper, I always had the base camp in it because I could just control everything and dim it with my phone. So I love this lamp right here, but unfortunately it's not available. You can buy it probably on eBay at this time. Another option with Biolite is their headlamp, and you can buy a little carry bag for the headlamp, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. The bag acts as a diffuser, so you can use your headlamp and hang it in your tent or in your camper for another option for lighting, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. All right, here is the headlamp, and be careful of that headlamp. You could about go blind looking at this headlamp, but it's a great headlamp for camping if you need it at night to find the restroom or something like that. It's very powerful. As you can see, it lights up the whole back of my van here, and it also has a strobe. It has a red light, and the red light is nice for 2 things. If you are doing astrophotography and you want to look at your camera, but you don't want the light to interfere with your settings, then the red light is great for that. Also, I believe there's a flashing mode on the red light, so if you are in an emergency situation, you can flash that red light on the headlamp. But as you can see, putting that headlamp in the diffuser bag gives you a ton of light. Like, it literally lights up the whole inside of the van here. Here's another option, which is 30 feet of USB camping lights. So this is a mini string light. I have these actually in my bedroom, and I leave them on pretty much all the time. They're very beautiful. To me, this would be kind of much for a little camper van like I have in the Honda Element. But if you wanted to light up your campsite or awning or something like that, this would be a great option. It does have a dimmer switch with it as well. Here I have the string lights plugged in. I didn't unroll them because I didn't want to wreck them for later. You can see there literally is 30 feet here. They're almost like what they call little fairy lights, I think. But they are pretty bright as a whole. And then you can see they do take about 3 watts of power, so that's pretty low. Okay, so apparently you can tap this to cycle through the modes. I'll blink, more blinking. This is my favorite. This is kind of, I guess they call this like a fire crackle mode. Those are the different modes. You can click on this button to reset. And then in the middle, you should be able to dim it. And then you can see when I have it on the lowest, it's down to 0 to 1 watts. So that is a pretty efficient use of power. And they're still pretty, it's going to give you enough light, even with that low amount of power output. So that's pretty great, I think. The last set of lights that I have are the Luci lights. And of course, these don't take any power at all. You can charge them with the USB. And it does have a light on the outside. This is the solar panel, so you can charge them with solar. And as you can see already, they do change color. So I'm going to unroll these so you can see what they look like. I've unpacked quite a bit. These are very long. I'll look up to see exactly how long these are. Sorry, it's raining outside right now. But these do change colors. I'm sure there's different modes you can set them on. There's still a lot left in here. I could unroll these. They would go through the whole van. Or you could also string these again through your campsite. They're very pretty, and I like the fact that they don't really need any power. You can just put them in the window of your van, or you can set them on the picnic table during the day to recharge in the sun, all with no power. So for camping, these are a great option, or boondocking, they're a great option. And they're very pretty as well. The line is very good quality, covered wire. And you just roll it right up in here. And I believe you can also charge your phone with these lights. Anyone that camps pretty much is aware of Luci lights. I've got probably 4 or 5 of their solar lights. Just always carry them with me because you don't have to worry about them using up power. So love these. All right, with all that said, I'm just here to say that the Goal Zero lights are the ones I chose for my camper van conversion with my Honda Element. Mainly because I could turn each one on and off, which I like that functionality. If I just need one reading light or something like that, I can easily just turn on one and it takes less power. I can dim them. I can have them brighter. Whatever I need to do, they're very versatile. I also like the fact that the one bigger light that I have from Goal Zero has, I think it's a 30-foot cord or 20-foot cord or something like that. And I can hang it anywhere in the campsite if I want to cook or need lighting in a certain area. I can just stretch that out and hang it wherever it needs to go. So those are the ones I chose to use in my camper van. But all of the choices here are solid choices, just depending on what your use is for them. Make sure if you're using the Biolite that you have the adapter, which does come with it. So even those will be a great option for you. They have beautiful lighting systems as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them for you. Please like and subscribe, and I so appreciate you being here at Camp Mymy.
Taking just